Macbeth, Act 1. The play Macbeth takes place in Scotland. Scotland is located north of England. Act 1, Scene 1. The first characters we meet are three witches. They are alone in the countryside. They make plans to meet when a battle is over. We don't know what battle they're talking about, but there's a battle. They will meet someone named Macbeth. This first scene is like the opening of a scary movie. Lightning, thunder, witches, what's going on? Nobody knows. It's very confusing, and it's supposed to be confusing. It's not just confusing because it was written by Shakespeare. But one line here I want you to remember. One line is very important. The witches say, "Fair is foul, and foul is fair." Act 1, Scene 1, line 11. To just flip that into everyday language, good is bad, and bad is good. Okay, that's really confusing. Opposites that don't normally go together. This is our first hint that things may not be what they appear in this play. So a character who appears quite good may not be so good in the end. Act 1, Scene 2. Outside of Forres, the good King of Scotland, King Duncan, receives news from the battlefront. A bloody messenger arrives on horseback and updates the king about a rebel invasion from the Western Islands. The rebel leader is called Macdonald. The messenger doesn't say where the battle takes place, but he says that brave Macbeth with the Scottish army fought back the rebels. Macbeth killed Macdonald by stabbing him in the navel, his belly button, and slicing his body open all the way up to his mouth. Here's that line as Shakespeare wrote it. He unseamed him from the navel to the chops, the jaws. Act 1, Scene 2, line 22. King Duncan likes this report. Then another report arrives. Ross tells the king about an invasion in the east of Scotland. The King of Norway tried to invade Scotland, and brave Macbeth and the Scottish army quickly made their way to the east and defeated the Norwegians. So at this point in the play, Macbeth has been a hero in two big battles. How would you describe Macbeth? Macbeth is brave, a skilled warrior, and loyal to King Duncan. Act 1, Scene 3. Macbeth, whose full title is Macbeth, Thane of Glamis. Thane means he's a general, and Glamis is a place in Scotland. Macbeth, the Thane of Glamis, and Banquo, who is also a Thane, set out on the journey back to King Duncan's camp. But on the way to see King Duncan, something happens that changes everyone's life forever. Macbeth and Banquo meet the witches. The witches tell the men three things that will happen in the future. Three prophecies. The witches say that Macbeth is the Thane of Cawdor. 2. Macbeth will be King of Scotland. 3. Banquo's children will become kings. The exact quotes are, the witch's first prophecy to Macbeth, "Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor." Hail means greetings. To thee, you. So greetings to you, but they call him Thane of Cawdor. At this point, Macbeth knows his name to be Macbeth, Thane of Glamis. Act 1, Scene 3, line 49. The witch's second prophecy to Macbeth, "All hail, Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter." Again, greetings to Macbeth. You will be king after this. Act 1, Scene 3, line 50. The witch's third prophecy is said to Banquo. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. You will have kings in your family, but you are not going to be one of them. Act 1, Scene 3, line 69. Macbeth wants to ask the witches some questions, but they disappear. Right then, noblemen arrive with a message for Macbeth. The king is so thankful to you for winning 2 battles. He's giving you a new title. Congratulations, you are the new Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth doesn't understand. He says, I know the man who is the Thane of Cawdor. Why are you giving me another man's title? Ross tells him the first Thane of Cawdor helped the King of Norway invade Scotland. The king has sentenced the first Thane of Cawdor to death and given his title to you, Macbeth. That's just what the witches said. Thane of Cawdor. The first prophecy has already happened. Macbeth is the Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth can't figure out if these prophecies are good or bad. He thinks, if they're good news, why do I have a scary fantasy in my mind of killing the king? My thought, whose murder is yet but fantastical. So Macbeth is saying, I'm thinking of murder, but it's still a fantasy in my mind. Act 1, Scene 3, line 139. Act 1, Scene 4. Macbeth and Banquo arrive at King Duncan's palace, and they are thanked for their bravery during the 2 invasions. King Duncan announces 2 things. 1. His son Malcolm will be the next king. Macbeth was hoping that King Duncan would make him the next king. King Duncan invites himself to visit Macbeth's castle at Inverness. Act 1, Scene 5. Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, reads a letter from Macbeth. Macbeth writes, I met 3 witches. They called me Thane of Cawdor. They said, I will be king. King Duncan made me the new Thane of Cawdor. Lady Macbeth is very happy to read this letter. The Macbeths are a close couple. The Macbeths love each other, share secrets, and are ambitious. I love you, Mackie. Lady Macbeth says Macbeth is too kind, and he would never harm anyone in order to become king faster. Here's the quote. Lady Macbeth says her husband is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Act 1, Scene 5, lines 16 and 17. Lady Macbeth thinks her husband is too kind, too full of milk, and she wants to get rid of that kindness in him. Lady Macbeth wants to put her determination in his ear. She wants to get rid of anything that gets in the way of her husband's ambitions to become king. A servant tells Lady Macbeth that King Duncan and the other royals will be arriving for a visit that night. Lady Macbeth says a prayer to evil spirits, asking to be filled with cruelty, so she can be a part of King Duncan's murder and never regret it. Macbeth arrives home, and Lady Macbeth tells him of her plans. Macbeth looks really worried, but she tells him to wear a false face so people can't see what he's really thinking. Lady Macbeth wants Macbeth to look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Act 1, Scene 5, lines 64 and 65. She wants Macbeth to look happy and innocent on the outside, but to be ready to strike, to bite like a snake when the right time comes. Act 1, Scene 6. King Duncan, Banquo, and the other royals arrive at Macbeth's castle. Lady Macbeth greets them, pretending to be the perfect hostess. Act 1, Scene 7. Macbeth has left the dining room and sits alone in his castle. He doesn't want to kill King Duncan. He has 2 good reasons. 1. Macbeth is the king's relative and subject. He shouldn't kill him. 2. Macbeth is the king's host, and he should protect the king, not kill him. Here's the quote. Macbeth says, "First, as I am his kinsman and his subject." A kinsman is a relative. Act 1, Scene 7, line 13. The second reason, here's Macbeth's quote. "Then, as his host, who should, against his murderer, shut the door, not bear the knife myself." Act 1, Scene 7, lines 14, 15, and 16. The words are in an unusual order. In modern English, we might say, "Duncan is staying in my house. I should shut the door against his murderer, not hold the murdering knife in my hand." What's his reason for killing the king? Pure ambition. Macbeth wants to be king. Now we're going to look at one of the most important quotes in the entire play. Macbeth is talking to himself about why he shouldn't kill the king. He starts comparing his situation to riding a horse. In horseback riding, if the rider wants the horse to go faster, he can put a spur on his boot. The rider digs the spur into the horse's flesh, ouch, and those points prick the horse's skin, and it motivates the horse to run faster. Macbeth is looking for a mental kind of spur, a valid reason that would make killing the king easier. But there aren't any valid reasons. Everyone likes King Duncan. Macbeth has no valid reason to motivate himself to complete his intention of killing King Duncan. Here's the quote. Macbeth says, "I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent," his intent to kill the king. Act 1, Scene 7, lines 25 and 26. Macbeth has only one reason for killing the king, his own ambition. Macbeth wants to be king. He's still comparing his situation to riding a horse. And he says that his ambition, his vaulting ambition, his leaping ambition, while it tries to get on a horse, is too strong, and it won't get him on a horse. It will end up with him falling over on the other side of the horse. His ambition will leap too far, overleaping itself and falling on the other side of the horse. Some people would say this is the most important quote in the play. Macbeth says he only has vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other side. Act 1, Scene 7, lines 25 through 28. Lady Macbeth finds him, and he says, "They will not kill the king. We will proceed no further in this business." Act 1, Scene 7, line 31, and the business is killing the king. Lady Macbeth doesn't like that. She says if he doesn't kill the king, he is not a man. Lady Macbeth says if she had agreed to do something, she would do it. And she gives Macbeth a crazy example. She says if she had agreed to kill a newborn baby who was tenderly nursing at her breast and dash out its brains, if she had agreed to this, she would do it. At this point, does Macbeth say, "Lady, you're crazy"? No, he agrees to the murder of good King Duncan. Lady Macbeth has a plan for the murder. She will get Duncan's servants drunk and make it look like they did the murder. Macbeth agrees to this plan and puts on his false face to entertain his guests. The end of Act 1.